Hello everyone, Agent Gold here. Welcome back to my mini Let's Play of Final Fantasy VI. When we left off last time, Sabin thought it would be a good idea to look for survivors on this train, and accidentally sent us on a one-way trip on a railway to hell. Great job, mister. This will only take a second. Alright, so let's see if we can stop this thing. We've got the conductor right here. See if he can tell us what to do. Alright, so he's a nice enough guy. He understands we're not supposed to be here. We picked up a friendly ghost last time. If we didn't have Shadow with us, we could take another. But they give us this little excuse. 4 is the party limit in this game, so can't go over 4. Conductor sounded like he hasn't stopped the train in a while, so he probably wasn't the one who started it. These ghosts around here, most of them will just fight you if you talk to them, but this one is a merchant. There are a few different kinds of ghosts around. I don't think we need anything right now. The ones that join you, the ones that fight you, and the ones that will try to sell you things. So you kind of never know what you're going to get. I certainly don't have them memorized, I'll tell you that. So if you want to have your ghost sacrifice himself every now and then, you can certainly do that and then look for more. It's not going to hurt anything. I know that I've talked a few times about how some of these fights are not giving out a lot of experience, but honestly, I haven't had to do any level grinding up to this point, and these guys are still one-shotting everything, and they'll be fit for the bosses, which we haven't really seen any just yet. So, I don't know if it was the same way in the Super Nintendo version or not, but they've certainly fixed things around quite a bit. Wizard-looking things will try to drain you, which doesn't work if they haven't taken any damage. Just gonna have the ghost defend for now. His attacks aren't that powerful anyway. But they're not usually that dangerous, so... These things, on the other hand, terrify me. You saw before how they cut Cyan's health. Let's see what's in this car. I'll actually save us a little time here. There's nothing interesting in this car, but a ghost just blocked our way out. Doesn't intend to let us go, so... Just one... Nope, there's 3. Thought it was just one by himself. But we got to strike first, so let's just get rid of them before they can do anything. No! That's what I was hoping to avoid. Alright. So those are out of the way, let's get out of there. Looks like there's more. So not every ghost on the train is friendly, we can kind of assume that, but this is probably the largest horde of bad ghosts we'll see in one place. And I don't actually know what they're trying to do, because they're not going to attack us exactly. They're just trying to corner us. I guess they just want to make sure that we're going to be riding this thing to the end. So, what can we do here? This is fun to watch. If you're curious, we couldn't have actually continued on any further without going into that car, so it was kind of a necessary step. Those things are fast. So So hopefully we can detach those cars in here. All I see is this one switch. Hope this does it. Sure enough. So back in here, the switch is back in its position. If we pull it again... At this point, I'm not asking questions. Let's just keep going. I think these things are tougher, but they don't usually last long enough to prove me right or wrong on that. Well, maybe have the ghost attack if these two don't take these things out. Shadow after that. I'm still hoping to see Interceptor block an attack and counterattack it, but so far that just hasn't happened. But we still have time, so you never know. I guess I don't need to save right now, we'll just keep on going. I love this music. It's just perfect for what this train is. There's two ghosts in here. Okay, it's a dining car. Sabin's banging on the table or demanding there's nobody else here! Who do you think they're gonna serve except you? This is what I thought the first time I saw this. I mean, we are on a train of the dead. What kind of food do they serve? I feel like a total nerd for noticing this, but when Cyan says thou or thee, he's using it correctly. A lot of people don't know. Okay, so it is good food here. But yeah, thou is if it's in the subject, and thee is if it's in the predicate, and I just happen to know that. I just noticed it by seeing it correctly used enough times. So, if we have them meet again, each person gets a slightly different cutscene. Sabin and Cyan pretty much repeat what they said just now. Shadow gets one that's, you know, a little bit different. The ghost just looks like it's throwing food down its hood, so I won't waste time with that one. So it's just kind of funny. You might not think much of this, but it does show us one nice thing about Shadow. So, Interceptor is the only living thing Shadow really cares about, and he does care about him. This is just kind of the first place that we can see that. Alright. That's enough time in here, I think. Save him back out front. Why not? Now, if you notice, there was a treasure chest behind those ghosts, but not really a way to get back there. There's a back door. So an earring is cool. It's not going to help us just now because it improves someone's magic power. None of these guys use magic. So what's in here? Got another treasure. Wait a minute. Well, he seems to be confident. Alright, what you got in store for us? Wimp! One gill. So, I got some stories for you with this guy. Just watch what he does here first. Okay, let's forget for just a second that this guy is on the train in the first place, and that he was apparently waiting on the ceiling for someone to try to take that treasure so he could show them up. Where did he go just now? He ran out of that room. Did he get back up on the ceiling? He couldn't have left, because he would have fallen into the abyss that's outside of this train. I mean, Shadow can't actually leave the group right now for the same reason, so what did he do? But, as far as where Siegfried comes from, in Final Fantasy V there was a boss named Gilgamesh. He was a funny guy. And he was a recurring boss. Started out very weak, like what we saw there just now. And he got stronger until he eventually became the main boss's right-hand man. Jackpot. And it's possible that Siegfried was supposed to be one of those, because there's one other optional time where you can fight him, and he's incredibly strong there. But the role of a funny recurring boss went to somebody else, so we don't really see that much of it. Okay, this thing is incredibly powerful. It has a very good chance of killing everybody. Not even going to mess around with it. So that's what I wanted to bring the ghost along for, was that one fight. And it's fine to use him there. There's another conductor here. He's just here to remind us how to stop the train. But right about here, the ghost would leave us if he was still in the group, because we're getting close to the end, and he doesn't really want to leave the train. So, no. So that was really all the farther the ghost can come. There's that drain I was talking about. It doesn't do anything if they haven't taken damage, but that's all they want to do. It's going to... this is going to be a very stupid joke, but I might as well make it since I have a second right here. So if that was Siegfried, where's Roy? Well, Roy, obviously, is in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but not in Brawl. You may throw things at me now, I'm ready to take it. Okay, save point right here. I'll save here just in case I screw something up and have to go back and record again. But that's not going to happen, right? Actually, since we're saving, we might as well heal Sabin. So close! Why do you have to interrupt me right when we're about to get there? Surrounded, no less. Oh, here we go. No! Don't miss! Interceptor is incredibly strong. Like, his attacks will be doing about like what Sabin's Aura Cannon is doing to these guys when they're weak against it. He's got Takedown, which we kinda saw just there, and he's got Wild Fang. Wild Fang is stronger but doesn't work against flying enemies, so... I'm so disappointed by that. Okay, here's the front of the train. Well, that switch is probably what stops it. The conductor said to look around in the engineer's room. Now I see some switches in here. I don't see an engineer. I'm still kind of wondering who started this train in the first place. But who knows, maybe when we try to stop it, you can kind of expect there's a boss fight then, right? So maybe the engineer is just gonna lull ninja his way down like Siegfried did a minute ago. Or maybe it'll be one of those ghosts that we're trying not to let us escape. So here's the trick. When you search around, there's something written here. First and third pressure valves. Well, does it mean the first one from the left or the first one from the right? Because if that's the case, the third one is gonna be... not a word from any of you! Alright, so let's see what happens now when we press this switch. Oh, dear God. It's got a mind of its own! This is one of those fights you just never forget. Can't do much right now while he's like that. If it bugs you at all that these guys can outrun the train, bear in mind that we hit the switch and that slowed things down. And who are we dealing with here? We've got a ninja, who is probably fast. Well, now he's down. And Sabin, he's probably the strongest guy in the world. How heavy do you think that train is? Like 10 tons? 50? 100? More? Doesn't matter. He can pick it up, he can jump up like that, slam it to the ground. If you've ever heard the term suplexing a train, this is where it comes from, because in the Super Nintendo version, that was called suplex. I'm going to die right here, aren't I? Suplex the train! Win! Oh my gosh! Oh, that was a close call. And this is kind of why it's good that the bosses don't always give experience, because only the people who survived would get it, so there's no pressure for me to have revived those two. Alright, we showed that train who's boss. When am I ever going to say that again? Oh gosh. Okay, so we're gonna get a cutscene right here. And after the cutscene, we're gonna get a very interesting moment that they could easily have skipped, but I'm very glad they didn't. And I'll explain why when we get there. But first, here's this cutscene that we see when it's gonna go ahead and let us get off. We're probably the only ones, other than maybe Siegfried, who've ever gotten on this train and were allowed to leave alive. That's really something. Someone else is here. There's a pretty good chance that these are people from Doma because of what happened there. Did you recognize anyone in particular? Cyan sure did. This has gotta be hard for... Shadow goes down to help him. This has got to be hard for Cyan to take, because he'd already thought he lost them, and now he's seeing them go again. So, you can imagine how Cyan feels, but if you're anything like me, you would love to help him right now, but there's no way to do it. I mean, as a player, you're normally used to exploring what you can do and making things work the way you want to, but in this moment, there's just nothing you can do. This is the developer's way of showing you how Sabin feels. He can lift a 100-ton metallic monster a mile into the air, but he can't do anything for a friend who just lost his family. So they put us out here on the world map, and they communicated that perfectly in a moment with nothing but silence and the controller in your hand. That's something that a lot of games pass up on, because people don't normally think to do things like that. But anyway, we'll pick it up right here next time. See you then.